Oh, what's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another football video, where today we're going to be doing my Premier League predictions ahead of matchday number 28 in the Premier League. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below, including your score predictions ahead of match day number 28. Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. Finally, I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore, who are going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football scores from around the ground. They're going to keep you up to date with the latest match information, along with the team news, statistics, and so much more. Not just limited to football, it's got all the scores from all the sports that you guys love to follow, all in one place, all in one app. Very highly rated, worthwhile checking out. It is free to download, and anyone that does download using my link in the description or the QR code on screen does help to support the future content created here on my channel. So having a look then at Premier League match day number 27. I feel like it's been forever since we've done a Premier League prediction video, because of course last weekend we had the FA Cup 5th round games taking place. So you have to cast your minds all the way back to Tuesday 25th of February, where we saw the start of Premier League match day number 27, and I managed to get 3 correct scores, 4 correct results and just 3 incorrect, scoring myself a 7 out of 10. Very solid performance from me. So on the Tuesday night games, I had Brighton down as 1-0 winners at home against Bournemouth. That finished 2-1 to Brighton. I had Crystal Palace against Aston Villa down as a 1-1 draw. Crystal Palace I thought would get a result, managed to beat Aston Villa, a solid 4-1 win, a really good result that for Crystal Palace. Wolves against Fulham, had that down as 2-1 winners for Fulham. Molineux, spot on with that one. And then Chelsea against Southampton, had Chelsea down as 2-0 winners, finished 4-0 to Chelsea. On to Wednesday, I had Brentford against Everton down as a 1-1 draw. Again, spot on with that one. Manchester United against Ipswich Town, had United down as 2-0 winners, managed to get the win eventually. I think Ipswich going ahead and having a player, Man United having a player sent off. I felt like Ipswich probably should have come away from Old Trafford with a result, maybe a draw, maybe even a win, but probably summed up Ipswich's season rather well, where they've got the potential there. They're a difficult team to beat. They want to play good football. They've not quite got the experience or the players to be able to stay up in the league, and I really can see the 3 teams that came up once more going down. And Wolves are having a pretty bad season, and to me, they're not really getting any run of form, but they're not needing to, because the 3 teams below them are doing the work for them. They're not getting the results that they need. So I just felt like there was something in that for Ipswich, and with United going down to 10 men and Ipswich taking the lead in that game, I just felt like they should have come away with some points, but a learning experience. We'll see. Still plenty of games to play to see what can be decided. And then at the City Ground, I had Nottingham Forest against Arsenal down as a 2-1 winners for Arsenal once more. Liverpool taking a big leap towards the Premier League title. Arsenal dropping points, that game finishing 0-0. I had Spurs down as 2-0 winners against Man City. I thought they'd have given Man City a much better game than what they did, but they chose to rotate their team. They're keeping an eye on the Europa League, so the likes of Kulusevski and Heung-min Son didn't end up starting in that game, which was a surprise, and Manchester City managed to find the back of the net, keep a clean sheet and pick up a solid 1-0 win. So that makes Man City look rather more comfortable when it comes to potential Champions League football for next season. And then Liverpool against Newcastle, had that down as a 3-1 win for Liverpool in what is a repeat of the Carabao Cup final next week. Liverpool won that game at Anfield by 2-0. And then on Thursday, I had West Ham down as 2-0 winners against Leicester. Spot on with that one. So it takes us nicely on to Premier League match day number 28. We've had, of course, the FA Cup last weekend. We've had Champions League and Europa League games taking place today as well. So there's been lots of games coming in thick and fast, but it's nice to be able to focus here on the Premier League and what is a very big match day for a lot of numerous reasons. So starting off on Saturday 8th of March 2025, in the early kickoff takes us to the City Ground, where Nottingham Forest are at home taking on Manchester City at 12:30 p.m. GMT, with the game being broadcast live on TNT Sports. I'm going with Manchester City to win this game by a couple of goals to nil. I think Manchester City They gave Nottingham Forest a really good game at the Etihad Stadium. Forest created one good opportunity. It didn't go, it didn't stick. City did create opportunities and they did score goals. And what Nottingham Forest are going to be looking for is trying to get the ball to stick and create opportunities for Chris Wood. And City's job will be to go with a high line and try and isolate Chris Wood. And Chris Wood, a very clinical striker, but he's not got the pace to hurt Manchester City. So they're going to be relying a lot on support from behind Chris Wood's likes of Gibbs White's going to have to put in a really impressive performance for Forest to get something here against City. They're going to need their wingers to get forward and try and expose City's high line, but they're going to sit deep. And I think if City end up grabbing the first goal, I just think they'll be too strong. So the question is, can City score? Because Forest probably will be looking for a 0-0. They'll be looking for another point. It keeps them above Manchester City, keeps them in third place and keeps them in Champions League contention with two very difficult games at home out of the way against Arsenal and Manchester City. So the question is, can City score? And I think City will, because I just think not many teams nil Manchester City, and I think City go on from strength to strength with that, and I think City win that game by a couple of goals to nil. I'm not too sure if Forest have got the midfield and the attack to expose Manchester City, but we'll see. Having a very good season, no doubt. Forest, it wouldn't surprise me to see them take points off City at the City ground. They've done it before, could do it again, but I'm going 2-0 Manchester City. Now moving on to the 3 PM games, starting off on the south coast, Brighton and Hove Albion taking on Fulham. It should be a really interesting game, this one actually, going with a 2-1 win for Brighton. In that game, I think ultimately making home advantage count will be just too strong for Fulham. I can see that being both teams to score in quite a free, open game of football. Moving on to Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace continuing their good form, going with them to pick up a 2-1 win against Ipswich Town. And these are Ipswich fighting for survival. This is where they've got to go to Selhurst Park, be grinding and coming away with points, coming away with wins. Have they got it? That is the question. I think Palace will be too strong, going 2-1 Crystal Palace. Southampton are heading up to Anfield. Liverpool against Southampton. I don't see anything other than a formality win here for Liverpool before I'm sure they'll turn their attention back to Paris Saint-Germain in the last 16 of the Champions League second leg. Picked up a good win, Liverpool, despite being the majority of the game outplayed in Paris and managed to win by a 1-0. So there'll be a bit of rotation in place for Liverpool, but I don't think Southampton are going to cause them many problems. They'll look to try and sit deep and see if they can absorb Liverpool, but I think if Liverpool can grab an early goal, which I think they will, I think they'll run riot going 4-0 Liverpool in that game. Then the evening kickoff at 5:30 PM GMT live on Sky Sports takes us to the G-Tech Community Stadium. Brentford taking on Aston Villa. Going for these two sides to cancel each other out. Weren't too sure what to make of it. Brentford away, a difficult game for Aston Villa to contemplate when they've got a big game coming up in midweek against Club Brugge. Picked up a wonderful win in Belgium thanks to a lot of patient play from Villa towards the end, picking up a solid 3-1 win. So they'll need to do a little bit of rotation, but not too much rotation, because I don't think Club Brugge are going to cause Villa too many problems at Villa Park, but they'll just be wary in making sure they get the job done, and I can see Brentford doing something against Villa. So two good teams there. Score draw 1-1. Final game on Saturday at 8 PM at GMT on TNT Sports. You've got Wolverhampton Wanderers taking on Everton. And again, what I was saying before, Wolves I don't think are very good. I just think they're better than what Leicester are, what Ipswich are and what Southampton are, so they're going to remain above them. But I'm going for a big 3 points here for Everton and very much solidifying a bottom four, where 3 of the bottom 4 are going to end up going down, going 2-1 Everton win. And then on to Sunday at Stamford Bridge at 2 PM GMT, you've got Chelsea taking on Leicester. I think Chelsea will be too strong for Leicester, so going with them to build on their victory over Southampton in the last Premier League game with a win for Chelsea against Leicester by 3-0. In the other game at 2 PM live on Sky Sports, you've got Spurs taking on Bournemouth. I was going to say I'm chucking out a curveball, but I'm not chucking out a curveball. Bournemouth are a very good team. Iriola's got them playing some wonderful football, and I can see them beating Tottenham Hotspur at their own stadium, because Spurs are very hit and miss. So I'm going 2-1 Bournemouth win there. Now in the final game on Sunday, Super Sunday they'll call it, Manchester United taking on Arsenal at 4:30 PM at GMT live on Sky Sports. Very much a battle here of two former huge sides where, well, cast our minds back 20 years ago, this would be one of the games of the season. For me though, Man United not having a great season, Arsenal not winning the Premier League, yeah, I could suggest it's a bit of a nothing game, to be honest, because Man United aren't going to finish in a European spot, and Arsenal, I don't see them dropping out of the top 4 race, and I don't see them winning the Premier League. So we'll see. It's the kind of game where Man United raise their game, and when they raise their game, can compete. numerous times they've managed to do it, even knocked Arsenal out of the FA Cup in their own backyard. So they can do it, they just lack extreme consistency and maybe just lack a bit of motivation. When they take on good teams, they seem to raise their game and get results, and it's the kind of game that Man United would win as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going 2-1 Manchester United win. And then on the final game on Monday night, 10th of March at 8 PM GMT, live on Sky Sports, you've got West Ham United taking on Newcastle United, the battle of the Uniteds, and I'm going with West Ham to get the better of Newcastle. Got a few injuries, Newcastle, struggling a little bit for form, going with a 2-1 win for West Ham in that game. So they've been my Premier League predictions. Do let me know your predictions in the comments below. Don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up on the video. Do subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. I'll see you all again real soon for the next one. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.